Is there really a new $6,663 plus lifetime check coming to Social Security recipients across all 50 states? Let's break it all down. No fluff, no hype, just the facts you need to know right now. In recent weeks, many headlines and rumors have been circulating about new financial relief coming to Social Security beneficiaries, especially something tied to what's being called a $6,663 plus lifetime benefit update. But what does that actually mean for you if you're receiving Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or any other type of federal retirement or disability support? This isn't about some vague promise or a distant proposal that's years away. We're talking about a real change that may be linked to COLA adjustments, retroactive benefit corrections, and a push for permanent monthly increases, especially as lawmakers respond to inflation, rising costs of living, and pressure from senior advocacy groups. And here's the critical part. While these changes may look like a flat number, such as $6,663, what really matters is how that money plays out month to month for you, potentially adding hundreds of extra dollars per month into the pockets of seniors, particularly those who've been on benefits for years without much increase. We're also seeing updates that affect seniors in every single state. Yes, all 50. Whether you're in California, Florida, Texas, or anywhere in between, this is federal, and the information applies to you. If you're wondering whether you'll qualify, when the checks could go out, and what steps you need to take, stay right here. We're covering it all in plain English, without the complicated jargon. Because if you've worked hard your whole life and paid into the system, you deserve to know exactly what's happening with your benefits, and how to make the most of it. So let's talk about what's actually going on behind the scenes. When you hear a number like $6,663 plus, it's easy to assume it's either a one-time payment or some kind of lump sum benefit, but it's more nuanced than that. What's really happening is that some recipients could be seeing lifetime increases in their monthly checks, and yes, over time, that could amount to $6,663 or even more. This amount is not just pulled out of thin air. It's connected to a mix of things like recent COLA increases, back pay adjustments, and potential new legislation that's being debated in Congress right now. And while no one's sending out a check labeled $6,663 on the envelope, if you're receiving monthly payments and those payments increase permanently, the cumulative impact could easily pass that number in just a few years. Now, the main driver behind these higher benefit amounts is the cost of living adjustment, or COLA, which happens each year. This year's COLA was lower than the previous years, but it still added a few extra dollars to monthly Social Security checks. That said, with inflation still affecting food, gas, utilities, and just about everything else, many seniors are saying those increases just aren't enough to keep up. Lawmakers have heard the outcry, and several proposals are being floated that could change the game entirely, including potential increases to the minimum Social Security benefit and changes to how the COLA is calculated moving forward. Some want to tie it to a different index that more accurately reflects the real cost of living for seniors, especially medical costs and housing. What does this mean for you? Well, if any of these proposals move forward, and some of them already have bipartisan interest, you could see your monthly checks start to increase again in the coming year. And remember, if your checks go up by even $50 or $100 a month, over a year that's an extra $600 to $1,200. Over 5 years, that's several $1,000s. Combine that with other updates or retroactive adjustments, and yes, we're looking at a possible lifetime boost well over that $6,663 mark. This isn't fantasy. This is the reality of what sustained monthly increases can do and why keeping up with these updates is so important. One major question people ask is, do I need to apply for this, or will it happen automatically? That's a great question. In most cases, when it comes to COLA increases and general Social Security adjustments, you do not need to apply. The changes happen automatically for everyone currently receiving benefits. But there are exceptions. For example, if you recently became eligible for SSDI or SSI, or if you've had a change in your income, work status, or living situation, you may need to make sure the Social Security Administration has your most up-to-date information. That's especially true for people who've moved states, changed bank accounts, or had interruptions in mail delivery. Speaking of states, let's talk about the fact that these updates are hitting all 50 states. While Social Security is a federal program, meaning the base benefits are the same across the country, there are state-level programs that sometimes supplement those benefits. That's where things get even more interesting. Some states offer extra money for SSI recipients. Others have special food assistance programs, energy bill credits, or property tax breaks for seniors on fixed incomes. If you're not checking with your state's Department of Human Services or local benefits office, you might be leaving money on the table. And I don't just mean a few bucks. I've heard from seniors who discovered they were eligible for $100 to $200 a month in additional state assistance and didn't even know it. Now, let's talk about timing, because I know that's on everyone's mind. When will these checks actually go out? For most regular Social Security payments, the schedule follows your birth date. You probably already know when to expect your monthly check. But if any new federal relief bill passes, or if there are retroactive COLA corrections or bonus payments approved, the timing could be different. The truth is, we're waiting on movement from lawmakers in Washington. Right now, several Social Security reform bills are being discussed in committees. Some include expanded monthly benefits, one-time stimulus-style checks for lower-income retirees, and even the return of advanced child tax credits, which could help grandparents raising grandkids. Now, to be clear, none of these proposals have passed yet, but many have strong support from senior advocacy organizations like AARP and bipartisan backing in Congress. And that's what makes this moment so important. Because when Congress is in session and these bills are on the table, it's the time to stay informed and to let your voice be heard. Whether you call your representative, write an email, or just stay tuned to accurate news sources, being informed is your best financial defense. Another issue many seniors are asking about is back pay, especially for those who applied for SSDI or SSI and had to wait months or even years for approval. If you fall into that category, you might be eligible for a lump sum back payment, depending on when your eligibility date was established. Some of those back payments are substantial. I'm talking thousands of dollars. It's a complicated process, but it's worth following up on if you're still in the middle of your approval timeline or have questions about what you're owed. At the end of the day, the most important thing is that you know your rights, understand what you're eligible for, and stay connected to updates that matter to your wallet. Because the system is complicated, and it doesn't always do a good job of explaining itself to the people it's supposed to serve. That's where videos like this come in to make sure you're not just hearing the headlines, but actually understanding what they mean for your daily life. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today's update, it's this: $6,663 plus in extra Social Security benefits over time isn't some made-up number. It's a real possibility for many Americans, especially if new reforms take shape, if you're proactive about checking your eligibility, and if you stay on top of what's happening with Social Security, SSI, and SSDI nationwide. Every dollar counts, especially when you're living on a fixed income. And that's why staying informed isn't just helpful, it's powerful.